Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is JBW with Mystic West Music. Today I'm going to be going over the entire Ben and Kerry album. I'm going to be giving you my reactions. I'm going to be talking about each track, kind of why I put them on there, what made us think of the idea, how the idea came about, where the joke came from, just things like that. And I'm going to be here the whole time showing you my reactions. You can see my face. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. As a lot of you guys know, I was in a duo called Ben and Kerry. And unfortunately, very unfortunately, Kerry passed away during a surgery. And so now I just kind of want to get as much of our stuff out there that I can. You know, Kerry and I, we talked a lot about like doing stuff. And, you know, we never did, I guess, just busy with life and things like that. And, but, you know, I would message him all the time, like, oh, I want to do stuff with our comedy. And we talked about meeting up, and then the COVID happened, and it was just a lot of unfortunate events, I guess, kind of came about. But, so I wanted to do this. Like I said, I want to get some of our stuff out there because people need to hear it. Kerry was really funny, especially when I get to the comedy stuff that's going to come out later. But right now I'm just focusing on this. But yeah, so I don't want to keep talking too much about some of that, I guess. Let's go ahead and get into this. The very first song that I put on the deluxe edition of this album is called Ken and Barry. And one of the things that Kerry and I would do is we would practice like what we would do at a show. So it'd be like, oh, like, yeah, like, what are we going to do to get the crowd pumped? You know, whatever. So we would just like talk and we would make things up. Maybe we ended up just making each other laugh a lot because we were just sort of weird a little bit. Maybe me more weird than him about that kind of stuff. But anyways, Ken and Barry was just us pretending to go live in front of an audience and how we would like talk. So this is Ken and Barry.
All right, welcome. My name is Ken and this is Barry. Together with Ken and Barry.
This was early.
Ken, Barry, and friends.
The microphone. We had one mic.
So yeah. So what's up? Thank y'all for coming to our show. Man, this isn't a show. Oh what? Oh. Okay, thanks.
Y'all aren't here just for us?
The five of you?
No, what's going on? Jamie, Michelle, Jessica.
We about to jam.
And that was, I think, before one of our shows we did at Wonder Root. So we were just kind of like making a joke about how there was never really that many people there. It was like a small little venue, but it was good to kind of like meet people and perform. And so we were kind of just like talking about how like, and even not even just that place, but at open mics, there's not usually that many people there. But yeah, that and some of these recordings were early recordings where I only used one microphone in the room, just like a room mic. And I was literally recording everything with one mic in the corner of the room. Kerry's drums used to be here. And I would stand right here, facing Kerry. And I would play the guitar at that point, and then at another point I started playing the piano like over there, and he would have the drums here. But I would have the PA system, like one in that corner and one over here, have the mic all the way in the other corner, and then I would literally just record from one mic. And I think it was in 2016, so we were playing in 2015, and it took about a year or so, and we had a lot of funny stuff that we can't really use because it was one crappy microphone. But we ended up upgrading. We used regular mics, and we would use one room mic, and then we had two mics that we could talk into, and everything sounded a lot better at that point. But this next one is it's called Jam versus Jelly, and this was like an inside joke. Like Kerry one day, we were just sitting there, and he was just like, "Hey, what's the difference between jelly and jam?" And I was just like, "What?" "I can't jelly my dick in your ass." And ever since then, well, yeah, that became like our little inside joke. So in this track, we were like pretending to again say things funny in front of an audience, whatever. And in this one, it doesn't go as smoothly as how he said it to me the first time. Because if you listen to it, I'm just like, does it have something to do with my ass? Like, because I already knew what the joke was. But after that, like, we started referring to our jam sessions as Jelly. And we used to post this meme all the time, and I'll put it on the screen. The one with Randy Marsh, when the ectoplasm, like, we would always send that to each other. Or I would send it probably more than him, but just like, oh, I can't wait for our Jelly Jam this weekend, whatever. But yeah, so this is Jam versus Jelly.
Hey Ben, what's the difference between jelly and jam?
I don't know, Kerry. Does it have anything to do with my ass?
Well, like, it does.
Damn. It says damn, yeah. See?
I can't jelly my dick into your asshole.
Got a point.
Awkward silence.
So speaking of jam,
Well, you could use jelly.
You could use jelly.
That's true. You can build the animal. I know you like that jelly.
So yeah, there was that one. And this one is just really quick. The please save your applause till the end. This was us just talking, and I think we were maybe we just finished practicing a song, or like like in the room, and then Kerry was just on the mic and he just thought of this, and it was pretty funny.
We're going to ask that during our set you save your applause till the end. Thank you.
And you can hear the hum from my guitar amp, the buzz.
That? And then like when we finish the song, no one claps. Or if someone does clap. Oh, shh. Please, we want to remind you to save your applause till the end.
We will be taking pictures and signing autographs after our set.
But please no flash photography or videoing during the set. You will be asked to leave.
You will be asked to go outside until we're done.
So stupid. But yeah, so that was that, and I did these three at the beginning because I kind of felt like they were like a good progression of like a show. Like we would kind of talk, be dumb, whatever, try to make people laugh, and then do a song. So this next song is the very first song that we wrote together. This one is called Fooblime, and the reason why we call it Fooblime is because we felt like the vibe of it was kind of like a mixture of a Foo Fighters song and a Sublime song, because it kind of has like the reggae feel a little bit, and then it has like the Foo Fighters, I guess. So we called it Fooblime, which it doesn't have anything to do with the song. I mean, the lyrics are somewhat Foo Fighter-ish, because I think Foo Fighters, like, they kind of have like some positive messages, and this one definitely has a positive message in my opinion. Well, I mean, it does, yeah. And so for this one, I remember we were writing it like we literally our first jam together when we kind of talked about meeting up, whatever. Like this was like the very first thing that we did, like as Ben and Kerry, like the very first thing. We just kind of went with it, and it developed over time to be what it is now. But we wrote pretty much like most of it. I mean, the music. For the lyrics, I wrote we wrote the first verse. Like it was that the first verse was kind of like more of me, and then like him, if that makes sense. Where it was kind of like I had like a lot of the stuff, and then I think we kind of did it like a little bit here and there together, and then we did the chorus. And I remember he came up with the second verse. Like the second verse was all him, and I think I had. It doesn't really matter, but he did the second verse, and then the way we ended this song was really cool. We really liked it, and it was always fun to play live because I played the guitar, and for that there's this little breakdown where I'm just like hammering on the chords like this, and then I was able to take my right hand and like play that melody. Like, so I was able to do that live, which when we were figuring that out, we were like, oh, like, that'd be so cool. Everyone's going to think that's awesome. But yeah, so this is Fooblime. I did the bass. I recorded the bass separately. In the bass part,
Everybody come together, enjoy the magic, enjoy the weather. We're gonna dance to remember. We're gonna dance.
the bass part I originally did with my voice.
Forever be the same. Bathe in the sun, let's play in the rain. Oh yeah, let's live it up. To
And then I added bass later.
let's live it up.
And there's Kerry.
Enjoy our time together.
This is the Foo Fighter part. You can hear Kerry's harmonies. Made that lower one. And that lyric, something I saw at the time. This is Kerry's verse. He wrote it.
We all want to be ahead of it all. We learn to trust, walk after we crawl. Soon enough, you know we're running it all. Light goes left when you go right. It gets dark, you see a light. Let's brush it off. Live 'cause we're dying. What is a life? You're not
I like this part. I really liked a lot of our changes in the songs that we had. Here's that part. It's like 2 chords. In that melody though, I will admit, for the recording I did octaves. So I went dun, 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 it was an octave. But live I only did the one note. I didn't do the octaves live.
We're gonna live out loud, no matter who's around.
But yeah, Kerry's in a lot of the harmonies.
Life's a test. Look at the positive. We're gonna rock it out. Be individual. Life's not about the race, but we really celebrate.
So that was Fooblime. That was one of the first songs that we wrote together for this album. This next one was again sort of like it's called $50 a pop. And this is another one where we were just sort of talking, like in between us practicing or something. And this is an early one because you can kind of hear it's just the one mic. You can hear that hum from my guitar amp in the background. But yeah, this was just us talking, and we just thought it'd be funny to charge that much.
After every song, we should be like,
Oh yeah.
you know. All right, thank you. I think that's the best we've ever played that song, by the way.
The best.
That is the best. Sounds better than our recording.
Yeah.
That was funny.
We've got CDs in the back, $50 a pop.
Sounds
$50
better than our
For
recording.
one song.
All 3 for $150.
That's the other thing. Kerry's laugh was awesome. You could tell him something not even that funny, and it would just make you feel like it was that much funnier because how he laughed. This next one is Mr. Chapman. This one, I think my favorite part of this song is the solo. Excuse me. I was like so proud of the solo, like when I wrote it, the guitar solo. But this song, I forget how this song started off. Like we did this song, which is really funny. We had this recording, and we had so many ideas for it at first. And I remember like wanting it to be about a gold digger, like, and he was just like, no, like Kanye West did that already. And I was like, yeah, but this is different, you know. So he eventually was like, okay. But some of the things that I think we thought of was, and Kerry thought of was, I think he wanted the song to be about when I see a pig fly or something like that, and it was supposed to be about like cops or something, and or like at a party, like a bar or something was some of the ideas he was thinking of, and I was just very much like, no, like I think it should be this, and so we ended up doing it like that. And I remember we had just some sessions like this. This song was written lyrically by like the two of us. This one, I think, out of a lot of the ones we did, it was kind of like back and forth. Like maybe like I would write more of a part, or like whatever, or he would write a part. This one was like pretty much written like together entirely by us. Like I think there might have been a couple parts where I maybe wrote like a sentence or two more than him, but I would always send him everything. He would like it, and he would like, oh, I need to hear it. And once he would hear it, and we worked on everything. And but we wrote this together, and I don't know how we came up with the name. I think I just wrote Mr. Chapman as like I would just do that with songs. Like when we would do a jam, we always recorded our jams because he was mentioning how Rush did that, and he was a huge Rush fan, and so we would record all the tracks, and then I would just put a name on it and send it to him, and I think that was just how that happened with the name. I just called it Mr. Chapman for some reason. I think I was thinking of Tracy Chapman. I don't know why, and but yeah, this song I really like the beat. I really like this song. Like I think all of our songs are good, so I'm gonna be biased to all of our songs. But yeah, this is Mr. Chapman, very bluesy kind of sound. But yeah, here we go. Got that little intro. The drum.
Mr. Chapman was working a 9-to-5 job, always on his feet, only ramen to eat. He's the first one in, the last to leave. He was paying his dues. Finally, he got that raise. Now he's earning more pay for eating extra food. Oh, what more could he ask for? Yeah. Well, now it seems that he's got everything he needs. Well, life is good and life is so sweet. But like a spider to a fly, she comes around at the perfect time to weave a web and the train dry. She's a perfect tent if you're ever
That was cool to write this part.
Around and round on the ride he goes. He's gaining speed, but he's losing control. He's getting in over his head, and the more and more he spends, the more she says I love you. But
And this song is like a bunch of ideas.
You better watch out.
That's Kerry. I love the chorus.
Better watch out.
That drum beat.
You better watch out. Watch your wallet and watch your heart. Don't let her fool you. Play it smart. Beware of them gold-digging ladies.
Here's the solo.
He got caught up in her web. She took his car and then she fled. She left him rags for riches. You didn't listen, Mr. Chapman. Now look at what you're going through. Oh, well, yeah. You better watch out for that gold.
Yeah, I love that beat.
You better watch out. Look out for the gold.
And Kerry, I like that little.
You better watch out. Watch out for them gold-digging ladies. You better watch your wallet or watch your heart. You let her fool you, didn't play it.
I love this part.
Beware of them gold-digging
I'm telling you, this combines like so many things from the jams. So we hope people wouldn't get bored. In this part, I got really good at the guitar from jamming with him. So. But yeah, that was Mr. Chapman, and there was something else I was thinking about too while that when we were talking about the writing. One of the things for that song, like we tried to make it like a story, like just he's working, this happens, this happens, this happens, And I remember when we were writing it on the computer, like we had so many things written down. and there were so many things we didn't use. And I remember he would tell me that he was, I guess it was like a teacher or something, like told him, you know, like when you're writing, even if it's like stupid, like just write it, because then it's out. Like, you know, like even if it's dumb, like just write it. So we started to kind of live by that mindset, and we would just write like whatever, and whether or not we liked it or not, like it's like we wrote it and then it was gone. So it was kind of like not lingering there anymore. Like, and we didn't use a lot of stuff, and we used what we had. But I really like that song. This next one is called Aqua, Hoochie, the band. And this track was, so before we picked our name Ben and Kerry Band, or whatever we want to call it, man, we tried for months, I think, and this is before we even performed live. We tried for months to figure out a name. And Kerry was always one that would think of like kind of like the obscure, just sort of like names that kind of stood out a lot, and some of them were like really weird. And I tried, you know, I tried to write like, you know, like the Duo Kings and, you know, things like that, where I was trying to emphasize on there was two of us, and his would just kind of be all over the place. Like I think he wanted one of his names was N64. I remember that one. But yeah, he would just at work, he would think of names and he would send them to me, and some of them were really funny. And so this one, Aqua Hoochie, was one that we're talking about band names, and he brings up Aqua Hoochie, and I only put this in there because I thought it was funny. It's just kind of like his humor, and it was really us just trying to figure out band names, and we ended up just calling ourselves our names, Ben and Kerry. But this track I thought was funny just to put in there because it's just us kind of figuring out what we're going to call ourselves. So this is Aqua Hoochie.
Yeah, I had like Aqua Hoochie, the Great Pony Famine, Metronome.
Aqua
see?
Hoochie?
Great
Aqua
Pony
Hoochie.
Famine. Those were some that he told me.
That's funny.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's kind of like wet pussy, but saying it in a really cool sounding way. Aqua Hoochie. But it's not even, because a coochie is a vagina. A hoochie is just like a loose woman.
A woman.
Yeah.
And that is, okay, that's
So
true.
it's kind of cool. Like,
So
it
stupid.
makes you, I don't know.
It makes you think about coochie.
Yeah.
Like,
And it makes you think about hoochies.
Yeah.
And then wet pussy. So I think that's definitely positive association.
Aqua Hoochie.
It is, though. It's when he says this.
Because, yeah, guy or girl, who doesn't love a wet pussy?
That's true.
It's good for everybody.
That's true.
Anyway.
It's good for everybody. Oh, my God. But yeah, so that was Aqua Hoochie. I put that in there just because, you know, it was funny. That was us trying to figure out a band name. And I had it recording. I think he said Aqua Hoochie, and then I think I was like, oh, that's hilarious. Like, let me hit record. So I think I started to record it once he said that. But yeah, so the next track is Neverland. This, for me, is one of my favorite songs that I think we've done. Even that we did it, one of my favorite songs ever. Like, out of all the songs I've written, songs we've done, like, to me, this is like one of my favorite, like, ever. Like, definitely top songs I've ever written, been a part of, you know what I'm saying? And this song it was a journey to write this song. It started off, I forget what I called it at first, but I remember it gave me this sort of Michael Jackson vibe for that song, Reaching Out. What's that song? Touch your shoulder, electric eyes are everywhere. If that girl... What is that song? Human Nature. So I think it's in the same key as Human Nature. And I remember when I was first writing the music to it, I wrote this chord progression, you know, the doom, doom, doom. And it's kind of got that vibe of Human Nature. And then I added the harmonics over it. And I showed some people that, and they were like, oh, like that harmonic part kind of reminds me of, like, you know, like the pixie dust, like pixie kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. And I thought that was cool. And but we wrote this song, man. We had an acoustic version of this song. We did like a joke around, like fast version of this song. And later on in the album, I put the acoustic version, and that was like an early form of this song. So you can kind of hear it. Like, I don't have all the lyrics finished yet. And so you can hear it in that version, where that was like an early form of it. And Kerry's playing the harmonica and stuff. Anyways, in this version, like, I remember like sending it to Kerry. I had all the chord progressions. I was like thinking of vocal melodies, and we would like jam it, and he was like, I really like that vocal melody. So it was like, okay. But then it was like, so the second verse where Kerry's like da 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 da, like that. Originally, I was trying to do something with that, but with vocals, like to have a here we go, or something like that. And then Kerry, I think we were like talking about it and working on it, and it was like, well, what if that's like in the background? Like, what if you sing that? And it's kind of like a background melody. And then I ended up doing like other vocals that are kind of slower, and then he's singing that in the background. And the drum beats that he does, and like the solo at the end, like I was so hesitant to that solo. I was just like, I think it could be better. And Kerry like listened to it, and then he like called me or something. He was just like, dude, like he made me feel better about that solo. I think he told me even his mom like thought the solo was cool. I mean, so it was just like very reassuring to have someone be like, that solo, something that you were little not sure how to feel about it, and they were just like kind of pushing you up, being like, oh, it was awesome. But yeah, and so this song this song was sort of like my it was kind of like my, like, I wanted to do it, and like I had this idea, and I kind of like brought him along I kind of like got him on board with me to be like, let's do this. And he was obviously on, and he helped me, and with the drum parts, he thought of the drum parts, and he did all of these things. He helped me with the lyrics. But this song like really means a lot to me, just about like the whole trying to stay young mentally and all that stuff. And so this song I think also means a lot to me, just for what it was written about. And but yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can say about the song. Really, we'll just listen to it. Maybe if I think of something during it, we'll do whatever. But yeah, here we go. This song is Neverland. And here we go. Oh yeah, doo-doo. I love the bass in this song. Real quick, this song we did a jam of this song. We had one mic in the room. We did a jam of this, and I ended up just doing everything else on top of that one microphone. So the drums and the guitar are both recorded from one room mic. And I added everything else on top. And because I remember, like, I wanted to do like a real recording, like Fooblime and Mr. Chapman, but it was kind of a long song. It's like a 5-minute song. And I remember Kerry, he didn't really want to because he thought everything sounded good, and it does sound really good still. And it would have been a lot of work. But yeah, so it's just the one mic, and everything's recorded over it, like Kerry's vocals, like everything we added on top of it. So here we go. Even this drum beat. Just a Tom heavy song.
So sad to see them go, 'cause they can never return once they get too old. The pirates now in search of gold. Once my kin, the lost boys are no more. And now that they're all grown up, maybe Majestic's had a fairy dust. They can remember how to fly.
A lot of lyrics.
We can have fun just like good old times.
But yeah. Here's Kerry's harmony.
Dreams come, dreams may go.
It's Kerry.
It will show you all you need to do to get to Neverland. Is a happy thought.
It's Kerry.
Does faith and trust. Now we're on our way to Neverland.
I like this part. I made the audio. Kerry's Rainmaker. I love this part. That's Kerry.
We used to soar through the clouds, made of fluffy white gold. And we would climb up the trees to our castle strongholds. Because in that place we reigned and we were kings. And kings who created rainbows with swords of sunlight. We sliced the waves on the open shores, giving birth to the stars so high. The moon showed us
I love this song.
and the lightning showed us how to be strong and free, to be brave and proud. So leave your window open.
It's so not typical. It's like verse 2, bridge. Originally I was gonna go, yeah, like high note, but it didn't sound good.
Follow your heart, it will show you all you need to do. Get to Neverland is a happy thought. Fairy dust, faith and trust. Now we're on our way to Neverland.
This part is a lot of the two of us. That's the two of us singing. You kind of hear him more there. Now, we added these lyrics later.
Forget about all the treasure of gold and help me find all the treasures unknown. Come with me and let me show you how to fly, yeah. We can go on a
And that's Kerry in the background.
see the world and maybe even more. Come fly with me if you believe. Oh,
Ad-lib.
yeah, yeah, ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah.
I remember when we recorded Kerry, we just had to sit there for like a minute and a half. I just love this song. It's like a circle. The Rainmaker. And his drums, he took over for the harmonics. I love that song. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. Okay, so the next song is Crazy George. And this is another one. This is an early recording that I found where we were talking, just us talking. It's just funny. And it was his idea. He was like, I'm Paul McCartney. You know, we were like making that up. I'm George Harrison. And I put that on here just because it was funny. And yeah, so that's Crazy George. Here we go.
Oh yeah, I'm right there.
You can tell by the mic.
My name's John. My name's Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
I'm George Harrison.
talk completely different than
My name's Paul. I'm John Lennon. I'm Ringo.
Hi guys, my name's George Harrison.
Crazy George.
Crazy George.
Yeah, that's me.
This was from the Jungle Book. As when I thought of it. I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
It's from the Jungle Book.
I don't know, guys.
Okay, Paper Tigers. Oh my goodness. This is also... So this is one of those where it started off, what we used to call it, because I would literally we would do jams. Like I said, I'll send them off to Kerry. I'll name them something. So for the longest time, before we picked Paper Tigers, we used to call this song String Cheese. I don't know why I called it String Cheese. I think it just had something to do with like the like the way I would play, like that little riff. It just kind of came to my mind, String Cheese. Like, I don't know. So we used to call it String Cheese like for the longest time until we started writing the lyrics. So we kind of had like this whole song finished in a way. Didn't really have any lyrics yet. And this song, like, oh my God, this song again, like, had so much, like, if I showed early recordings of it, like, so the verses were like, we were like, okay, yeah, like, I love that riff, cool. When it came to the chorus, like, that was where we were like having such a hard time figuring it out. And I remember, I forget what the song was called. Kerry thought of a song, and he said, what if we do it like that? And it was maybe System of a Down or like some band like that, where it was a song where it kind of had like a verse was kind of like one way, but then all of a sudden the chorus was just like gon, 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 gon. Like, it was just very different kind of. Maybe it was Feng Shui. I can't remember what that song was called. That might have been with the one. And so it took us forever to get to like a chorus that like worked. And the way we got into this chorus was like Kerry would always do this awesome freaking drum fill to get into that chorus. And we thought of Paper Tigers because I remember I wrote the lyrics for the verses, okay? And I remember it was sort of about, there was something that happened to me where I was invited to go somewhere, or like something was happening, and I didn't want to go because there were like some, like, I think it was like there was like just some people maybe I didn't really feel like being around. Like, I just kind of wanted to like do my own thing, and I just didn't really want to go somewhere. So I remember like afterwards, like I felt kind of crappy about it, where I was just like, man, like I'm really going to let these people... Like I'm not gonna go to this place because there's some people there that, you know, maybe I don't like get along with, or you know, like maybe it's just like not the best vibe or something. And so I literally like didn't go do something for like a reason that's just kind of childish. And then we wrote this, you know, maybe like 5 years ago, where I don't remember when we wrote it, but so I wrote the verses and I shared it with Kerry, and you know, of course Kerry's like, dude, that's awesome, and and so we were working on it, and Kerry, I think maybe I wrote part of the chorus, but I feel like Kerry, like, it's funny because I think like we were like trying to write the chorus, and I left to go like poop or something. Like, maybe I wrote the first part of the chorus and he finished it, but I remember like leaving to go to the bathroom or something, and I came back and he was just like on the computer, like typing away. And I was like, what? He's like, I think I got it, but, you know, let me know what you think or whatever. And I remember reading it, and we kept it because I wasn't sure about wanting to keep it because it says fuck, because he says fuck that shit, go ride a bike, and I was hesitant to have the language like that. But then it was just sort of like, you know, like fuck it, like, it's like whatever, like it fits. And part of the reason why we kept it is because when we were talking about it and writing it, like Kerry was like very, like when he wrote it, like I can't think of the right word, but almost like compelled. Like it was just like he felt so strongly, Kerry felt so strongly about this chorus that was written, where it was just like, okay, like I like it. like let's keep it, like, you know. And I think that kind of caught him off guard. He was like really? And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, you seem pretty you know, like emotional about this or whatever. And so we kept that. And this was another one of those songs where I was able to kind of show off being able to play the guitar and the piano at the same time. Like, I would hold a chord. It's for the bridge. I would hold a chord on the guitar, and then I would do the solo on the keyboard. And Kerry, he added the little bells. They're not bells, the wood blocks. So it would kind of be like a marimba or a xylophone sound, and we would kind of go back and forth. And yeah, we have the very end. We're singing together. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into this one. I think that's about all I can say about it. We ended up shortening this song. Like, we had a lot of songs that were like longer than 4 minutes at a certain time. Like, we had some songs that were like 2.5, 3 minutes, then some that were just like 5 minutes. So, but we didn't really like want to limit ourselves or whatever. But yeah, this is Paper Tigers, and it's essentially about something that scares you, but it's really not that big. It's like a tiger, but it's just made out of paper, so it's really not that strong. You just think it's, you know, something more than it is. So I really also, I mean, I like all of our songs, but I like this one a lot too. It was different. It was heavy. Here we go. And I like this little beginning part coming up. I think it's the next one. We shortened this song, the solo too. I like that. You hear the string cheese? And we jammed on this for so long before it came out to be anything. There's the piano. And the verse, yeah. I added the bass. Who do you call when you get lonely? How do you feel when you're alone? And for the verses, what do you do? I did who, what, when, where, why. When you're afraid, when is the time to rise and face it? Why? So it's like each one of those. I like that chord. Here's his drum solo. I love this. And that's Kerry. Buy the paper tiger, how light it up and burn it down. Try again if you fail. Just do it and do it away. His drums on this song. I was breathing in this song, and he didn't like it at first. But
the sun not shining, how will you know if you stay inside? What do you do if you're always hiding? Where will you choose to go outside? And when is the time to fight for freedom? Why does fear always seem to get in the way?
Kerry, from what I remember, he got really good at singing and playing drums at the same time. Like, for him to sing that and play what he was playing, even just like, there's his things. We actually shortened this solo. because I wasn't sure if I should do a guitar solo or not. That's where that guitar was there.
Everybody's talking about what to do and when and how. Living in the moment, how. Always taking selfies now. Letting life pass you by, but you got 100 likes. But that shit go ride a bike. Start a gig and make it tight. Fight a paper tiger, how. Light it up and burn it down. Try again if you fail. Just do it and do it away.
This was always cool to do live. Because I'm playing the keyboard now, not guitar anymore. Let's go. That's me and Kerry. Light it up and burn it down. We're singing together. We did one regular. Up and burn it down. But then we did one an octave. Or something like that. Light it up and burn it down. Burn that motherfucker down. Yeah, man. We would always talk about, this song was funny because we would always talk about, like, man, like this song gets so epic. Like if people can actually make it that far in this song. Like if people can get to the end, like they're going to think this song is the shit. Because, you know, like how some people are, like they don't listen to the whole thing, or they'll listen to like the first minute and be like, meh. So we would always make that joke. Like we loved that song, but but who would actually get that far in the song to hear that part where we're like, fight a paper tiger, how? Like where we're singing it together. Like who, like we wanted it to sound like a, kind of like a choir, like a lot of people. We were like, man, that's so epic, but who's going to get that far? Like if people make it that far, they're going to think this song is awesome. But yeah, and this, okay, so this next one is called Rushin in the Fast Lane. Keyword Rushin. He was a huge Rush fan. I like Rush, but Kerry was like a hardcore Rush fan. So when we did this song, like there's no lyrics, and this is just like a jam that we did. We were always trying to like make it better, and out of all the jams that we did, and with every song that we did, like usually the jam would be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then we would, every time we would listen to it and like we would take the pieces that we liked and it would always get shorter. So this one is 7.5 minutes. And there's versions we have where it's like 15, 20 minutes. You know, like there's long versions of this song where we're just jamming. And this was just the jam. We didn't actually like have it finalized or finished. But I thought the jam was actually like pretty good. Like we had gotten pretty good at this, even though we weren't like, this is it. Like this is the final version, you know? Like I think we probably did this and we were just like, that was tight, you know? But we never like like finished it. But this, I put it on here because I thought it was good enough, like where it's pretty good, you know? Like without it being like final. But yeah. So this is Rushin in the Fast Lane. I wanted to have the word rush in there because it kind of has that vibe. It's drumming though. I mean, the worst part of this song is probably me on my guitar. Because I remember that was always the issue, was that every time we would jam, I never knew where to go. Because it was such a specific melody. Like, I just never knew. Where can I go next? But this one was not bad. So, just repeat. And I think we changed it though. Yeah, see. Yeah, so then I changed it around. Kind of sounds like Mario. But it still sounds cool. Kerry's holding it down. Just doing some arpeggios. See, I didn't know what to do. But we got really good at jamming together. And it's easy when it's just the drummer and like a guitarist or piano. Because it's more of a vibe and we don't have the same notes, you know? Yeah, I was trying different things out. Not bad, but compared to Kerry, it's not good. I do like this one. It's like a variation of that first one. Go up to fourth, I think. I remember learning that. Walking up the scale. Doodle-doo. Oh yeah. Doodle-doo. Doodle-doo. I think he starts following me. Doodle-doo. 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 Yeah, he started following me. I'm just going wherever. I do like that. obviously it's not. I would say this song like 75%. Had a lot of good ideas in it. I think I was just trying to end it because I didn't know where to go anymore. So I'm just like, come on, Kerry. And he's still jamming away. I had no idea what I was doing. He's still going with his little beat. And I'm just bullshitting. I like the end though. Yeah. Da-da-doo-doo. That was a great way to end it. All right, this next one is a cover. It is called Changes by David Bowie. This song is pretty straightforward. There was a guy, I think Kerry met him online. He had a thing called Half Cat Records. And he was putting like a little album together because David Bowie had just passed away. And I like some of David Bowie's songs. But my favorite one is Changes. So Kerry, was like, oh, let's try to get on that little album. Could get some exposure. I was like, okay. So we did this song, Changes. And I think, I did the electric piano and I sang it. And I like it because he did his own little like drum, he kind of added his own like flavor to it. So I really like this version that we did. It's like the original, but it's our own. Like I like the electric piano and I like his drums and everything. So, but yeah, so this is Changes by David Bowie. Well, by us, by David Bowie, by Ben and Kerry, by David Bowie. These little drums. I think I did have guitar in here. I can hear it. Mostly the piano.
But my time was running wild. A million dead end streets.
He's adding all the drums.
Every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet.
I added effects to his drums.
So I turned myself to face
Panned him a lot.
and I never caught a glimpse of how the others must see the faker. Well, I'm much too fast to take that test. Turn and face the strange.
I like this song a lot.
Don't wanna be a richer man.
Changes.
Turn and face the strange. Just gonna have to.
I don't think Kerry sang on this, now that I'm thinking about it.
May change me, but I can't trace time.
I think he was really busy at work, so he only wanted to do the drums. Yeah, his drum fills were good.
Change their size, but never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days flowed through my eyes. And
I didn't know this
still the
verse at
days
all.
seem the same.
I had to listen to the song a lot.
And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultation.
I had the sheet music for this
They're quite
song.
aware of what they're going through.
Changes.
Turn and face the strange. Don't tell them to grow up and out of it.
I sent him my recording, and then he did the drums over here. End of this, there's normally like a trumpet, but I think I ad-libbed some vocals. But yeah, I liked that electric piano. Oh, okay, this song. So, this is another cover. This is Day and Night by Kid Cudi. And so Kerry had just gotten a handpan, which is sort of like this. If you don't know what a handpan is, it's kind of like this UFO-shaped, drum. Like if you were to imagine, that drum, a steel drum. A steel drum is kind of like an inward drum. If you were to take that and flip it over, you're kind of playing on, so it's shaped like a UFO. It's big. Anyways, I guess you can look up handpan. So Kerry just got this handpan, and he was thinking of songs to do. He he was so into handpan once he got it, and I think he ended up getting a couple more. Anyway, so Kerry was oh, I think this Day and Night song would be really cool, and I was like, oh hell yeah, let's do it. So I got the vocals and all that stuff. So this specific recording of this song is Kerry came over. He played the handpan. I played the guitar. I figured out 4 chords that could go over it, and I sang it, and it wasn't very good. And again, this was I had a microphone over his handpan. I think I had a microphone in front of my guitar, and maybe I was singing into that one, but it wasn't very good. So basically, when I remade this, I basically just sort of I think it was 3 mics, but I basically took out my original vocals, even though they kind of bled into the guitar track. And I redid the vocals for that. I guess that's not a long story. A short story short. So this is just, it was just the 2 of us. I went and redid the vocals, and I added a little, I added a bass. I added an electric piano bass, because I was man, this song needs something that's just a bow. So that's in the song. I added that, and I thought that was really cool. But yeah, so this is Day and Night by Ben and Kerry, by Kid and Cudi, by Ben and Kerry. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's me trying to do it and whatever. And there's actually 2 vocal tracks on here.
Day and night, day and night.
There's that bass.
I toss and turn, I keep stressing my mind. I look for peace, but see I don't attain. What I need for keeps the silly game we play. Now look at this. Madness, the magnet keeps attracting me.
That's Kerry.
I try to run, but see I'm not that fast.
He was stepping
I think first, but surely finish last.
on that tambourine on the floor.
'Cause day and night, the lonely stoner seems to free his mind at night. He's all alone through the day and night. The lonely loner seems to free his mind at night. At night.
Couple parts.
Day and night.
You can hear my original vocals where I mess up.
He's all alone, some things will never change.
Random here and there.
The lonely loner seems to free his mind at night. At night.
Tried my best
Holds a phone.
to fix this
The
song.
lonely stoner, Mr. Solo Dolo. He's on the move, can't seem to shake the shade. Within his dreams, he sees the life he's
had ideas
The pain is deep.
for a music video for this,
Silent
but
sleeper, you won't hear a beep beep.
we never.
The girly ones don't seem to want him to. It seems the feeling that she's had her through and through.
Just never did it.
Day and night. The lonely stoner seems to
Like, I actually kind of forgot about this
He's
song,
all alone through the day and night. The lonely loner
and I was
seems
just
to
like,
free his
man,
mind at night. At night.
Harry really wanted to do this song, and we never did, so I had to add it. I had to fix it.
He's all alone, some things will never change. The lonely loner seems to free his mind at night.
At night.
Slow-mo. The tempo slows up and creates that new. He seems alive, though he's feeling blue. The sun is shining, man, he's super cool. The lonely nights, they fade away. He slips in his white Nikes. He smokes a clip and then he's on his way. To free his mind in search of, to free his mind in search of, to free his mind in search of day and night.
Then
The lonely
he's back with that
stoner seems to free his
tambourine.
mind at night. He's all alone through the day and night. The lonely loner seems to free his mind at night.
At night.
Day and night. The lonely stoner seems to free his mind at night.
It's a good version. I like
He's all
this
alone,
version.
some things will never change.
There's the
The
background.
lonely loner seems to free his mind at night.
At night.
Day and night. The lonely stoner seems to
This was me ad-libbing.
his mind at night. He's all alone through the day and night. The lonely loner seems to free his mind at night. Day and night.
This is just us kind of freestyling a little bit. And you can always hear Kerry breathing. Just whenever we did a handpan song, like you can always kind of hear him breathing. But you know, it's because the mic was so close to him, though. Because I had it like right over his handpan. It was kind of like by his face usually, so it was like right there. And I remember Kerry used to use gloves when he first got the handpans. He would use gloves because he didn't want to like get oil or he was so cautious. And I remember like later on he's just used his hands like later on. Oh God, Ray's Fairy. All right, so Kerry and I, when we first talked about making an album, like at the very beginning, like I was huge into improv. I still am. But I would always like Kerry and I, we would always like I would take a recording we did, like a jam, right, or something, and it'd be like, hey, like let's do these like exercises, like let's just try to improvise over this. Like I'll think of a line and then you think of a line, and we'll go back and forth. And we have there is a song that we did, which I'll mention later. It's relative to the song Jellyfish, which is what we did, and we did it for a lot of our songs, like Hill of the King. We have a couple. Mr. Chapman, we have a couple where we like do that. Like we ended up calling one Russia with Love, and we tried to talk like we were Russians, and But anyways, so when we were doing some of those things, we talked about if we made an album, like we should. Well, when we made an album and all that stuff, like we should, make like little skits or like just like things with us talking, and that's also part of why I added those in this album. The deluxe version anyways, because I wanted to stay true to the things we mentioned, which was to have little things like that in there. And this is one of the earliest ones that we did. This is probably the very first one. And I wasn't even using a microphone or two mics. I was using my phone. So the quality of this one, it isn't that great. Because it was from my phone, and I tried to cut it up a little bit. Like it's slightly edited because there were a couple parts that I just thought were like too long or didn't really fit. I tried to make it quick. But yeah, so this was like one of the first ones that we did. I don't know how we thought of it. Maybe we just like improvised it. Like I don't know, but I remember. I think Kerry's idea was. I think it was his idea for the Raise Fairy, and we just started like talking about it. I think like that was his idea, like a Raise Fairy. It's like, oh, okay, like let's. So we recorded it, and this is Raise Fairy. Here we go.
God, so depressed, Cares.
What's going on, Bane?
I don't know.
We used to call each other
Just I feel like I'm working so hard,
Bane and Curse.
not making enough dough to make bread. You know, it's just so tiring. You know, I feel like all this money I'm making is just going nowhere.
Ben. Well, haven't you heard of the Raise
Turn the
Fairy?
microphone away.
The Raise Fairy?
Yeah.
What's the Raise Fairy?
Well, Bane,
Yeah,
what
Cares?
you do
Curse.
is you get your latest pay stub
Uh-huh.
and you put it underneath your pillowcase at night.
So I get my pay stub,
Yeah.
put it under my pillow.
Put it under your pillow, and then the
And
Raise
then-
Fairy comes,
Okay.
and she sprinkles dust on you.
Dust, but I'm allergic to dust.
So just fucking
Take
take a
Zyrtec.
Zyrtec. It's premium. And speaking of premium, when you wake up, after all the dust, there you go.
After all the dust has settled.
Yeah. When you wake up, underneath your pillow, you'll find premium
Savory
savory bacon.
Bacon?
It's money.
It's money.
I was... So wait a minute. You're telling me I'm gonna have money bacon? Under my pillow?
This is just,
sizzling under
we
your
were
pillow.
just going for it.
Just accumulating
Trying.
more money bacon.
Damn. And you can spend money bacon.
Just as good
Everywhere?
as normal money.
It's just as good as normal money.
It just smells better.
Can you eat it?
You could eat it.
You could eat it. We laughed so much.
Well, will it make my pockets greasy?
Very greasy.
That's
Good
what
thing
make-
you're making more money bacon, because you're going to need to buy bacon pants immediately. Before your next paycheck.
Like, that's why it's worth so much. Because of the grease.
Yeah.
So there was that. Like I said, that was one of the very first ones. That might have been like the only one where we kind of just like sat there and like tried to kind of make up a skit idea. Because at a certain point, there was a certain point where Kerry and I, like we were playing together so much, and we kind of like took a little bit of a break. And after that point, like all we did was just make up comedy improv songs, and I am going to be releasing those. But this next one is called Don't Come on That Mic, which is, you know, it's the kind of cum you're thinking of. And this was, so this is another one with the handpan where Kerry just got it. I brought it over. And this was, for the most part, like improvised. I think we did 2 different takes, and this was the second take. So the first take was very, very similar to this one, but this was the better take. Oh, sorry. I'm already like thinking of that next song. So this is before the take. Don't Come on That Mic is before we did the handpan song, and we were recording a video for YouTube, which is online, and so we filmed it, and before I hit record, like I wanted to sit down. I hit record, and then I sat down, and as you hear from the track, like my chair was squeaky. So here we go. You hear the squeak?
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I wanted to sit down and get situated first. So,
Yeah.
So I don't have to do that. Because I think if I squeak in this chair, it'll come on that mic too.
Gotcha. We definitely don't want to come on that mic.
It took me a second to even
Alright, ready?
know what he said.
Let me make sure I'm not going to hit this thing.
I think I was focused on
I feel like I am.
whatever I was.
I'm gonna put this at the end of the video. So I just want to make sure I don't hit this thing.
See, that wasn't even very funny what I said.
All right.
But that's just Kerry, like, for you. Like, I was like, I'm gonna put that at the end. I don't want to hit that mic. And he just, like, it wasn't even that funny, or at least I didn't think it was that funny. But yeah. So, anyways, this is Kerry's Garden. This track is the one where it was take 2 out of the takes that we did, and this is pretty much improvised. I mean, like I said, like a couple of the parts, like we had the beginning kind of figured out, and like that, like the like the guitar, like we had that kind of, and then we knew at a certain point I was gonna change the chords, and there's a part like in the middle of the song where I start playing like E major instead of minor or whatever it was first, and so we just kind of like knew that. We didn't even really know I mean, we only knew a few things about like what we were gonna kind of do, and then everything else was like just based around those two different things. And I sang like a little bit, not really sang, but I just kind of added some oohs and ahs, and I for this version of the song I actually like amped up the vocal effects on them to make them sound more fitting to the handpan style that we were trying to go for. But yeah, so this one is called Kerry's Garden. And he was scratching the top of the handpan right there for that part. But handpan, like his grooves, like he got really good at the handpan. All of it, essentially. And I remember Kerry wanted to do this. The YouTube was called like Peaceful Music for a Stressful Time. Kerry got really into handpan. Like when he got one. Try my best to like compliment him in the song, not like overdo it on my part. I think we kind of did. Seems like it goes back and forth pretty well. There they are. You hear the effects now. I added more effects from the YouTube. A lot of reverb and stuff. Want it to be more ambient. I think it sounds better now than what it used to sound like. Here it is. Oh, not yet still. I don't even know anymore. Because I play a chord. You can tell it's a different part. There it is. That's like the second part. That was about all we knew. We knew it was going to be like a change at a certain point. And he kind of changed his stuff up a little bit too. Yeah, I like his part changed. I like that. It is really relaxing though. The hand pan. What he's doing, like a double kick with his thumbs. Up too much in this song. I think that click is his wedding ring. Like he's, or maybe he's holding it down a little. I don't know, but unfortunately, like there was a point we didn't jam as much with the hand pan. At the beginning, we did. I think we only jammed twice, 3 times. Coming up. See, when we're doing good, it sounds really good. Added reverb and a lot of stuff to it. Tried to give it more of a vibe. So before it was just too clear. Like the vocals, it just like stood out. So I wanted it to be more like in there. Well, yeah, that was a cool song. So this next track is called Pizza Re-Heatability, and it was just Kerry and I having a conversation. This is something else that we joked about after this. I didn't know I had this recorded, honestly, until I was like looking through the tracks. I remember this conversation because we had talked about the pizza reheat value, pizza reheatability. It was just something that we joked about. Like ever since this conversation, it became like a thing we talked about. And yeah, so I mean, it basically it is what it is. Like it was just us talking about it, and I forgot I had it recorded. And it's pizza reheatability. Here we go.
And the thing with me for pizza, like I'm so peculiar on the kinds of pizza based on its reheat value.
I love that. Based on its reheat value. So
You know
about the reheating too,
I know,
right?
yeah. Like that's why I use that little oven because I used to use pizza, but sometimes
I think I used to say microwave.
Fucking like tombstone pizza
supposed to say
or something,
microwave.
The reheat value is so low on
Yeah.
those fuckers. They taste like terrible. Anyway.
Oh God, I love this. Okay, so so this track is called AMAN, and I guess I put it as just AMAN. Like I don't know how you'd want to read it, like AMAN. So I called it AMAN, Gospel Ben and Kerry, because there was a point where we would like pretend to joke around about being other people. It's not in this, but I'm gonna put it in another one. Like there was another one where we did. It was Ben and Kerry like gay version, and we talk about going to Pinkberry and stuff like that. But we cuss a lot in that one, so I'm gonna and it's more of like. That one is more along the lines of like the comedy album, so like I might put it on that one. But we was like, I don't want to go to Pinkberry. Like we kind of talk like that, and so this was one of the things that we did where we were gospel Ben and Kerry, and the gospel Ben and Kerry, it was so reoccurring. Like we have like I think maybe 3 comedy songs where we're just like at church, like gospel songs. Like we that was like the one that we always went back to like the most was the gospel version where we would just kind of like make up songs like we were at church, but we would joke around about certain stuff. And this one was probably the first time that we ever did the gospel Ben and Kerry, and it was Kerry who thought of it. Like we are the gospel Ben and Kerry, and we're huge South Park fans, so South Park also reoccurs a lot. You know, it comes up where it's like, "No, don't be talking about no tree city." Like that was from South Park, and oh lordy, like that was Chef's dad and mom, and a lot of the stuff we joke about, especially in the comedy stuff. Like we definitely like South Park is a we make some references here and there, but this was just. We were trying to talk again about one of our songs. You know, we were practicing for a show of how it looked like. How are we going to introduce the song? Like, what are we going to do? So we started to do it, and then all of a sudden, we just went off into this tangent or whatever, and started doing this whole random thing because it's just the 2 of us in our room. Just making each other laugh, like trying to have fun, and this is what came out of it. And this is one of the earliest versions of. This is an early version of kind of like what we would end up doing as far as like comedy songs go, where we improvise comedy. This is like an early sneak peek of like what is to come. So if you can imagine like this, but like just more developed over time, like that's what is going to come later, like in future releases. But I really like this track a lot. It's so stupid that makes me laugh. All right, here we go.
This next one's about a man.
About a man. See, that's all it took for me to see. About a man. I was just
His name is
Oh, man.
His name is Larry Chapman.
Larry Chapman. I don't know why he called him Larry Chapman.
Mr. Chapman.
Mr. Chapman, yeah. He called him Larry Chapman for some reason.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh, man. That's Kerry.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Mr. Chapman.
And then here it goes. Here we start.
Man! Oh, man, it's so good to see everybody out here this evening.
We are the gospel burning carrier.
And we are going to play you some
Jesus tunes.
Now, don't be leaving over there, young lady. You better come on up back here and worship Jesus with the rest of us.
Worship Jesus with the rest of
Come
us.
on now, young man. Come on now, children. Get off your Satan's cell phone.
That was
Come
hilarious,
over
too.
here and worship with the rest of us.
Satan's cell phone.
Now, God dang it, Hillary.
I don't know where.
It cost about $3.
I don't know where Hillary
All I
came
do
from.
is go to the bathroom. And then I go to the bathroom. God damn it, woman. I can't hold my bladder like I used to be able to.
God damn it,
I
woman.
gotta pee. Don't be talking about that in the house of God. And the Lord. All right now. Everybody stand up. Cause we're gonna worship the Lord. Raise your hands and fill this with your money.
With your money.
Give us money so we can worship the Lord
better. Yeah.
Can you worship the Lord without money?
So imagine this, but
But
just
why
like
would you worship the Lord without money when you could worship the Lord with
better
money?
mics and
That's what he wanted after all. For us to give money.
this is South Park.
We
We want more money, guy. Miss
I don't know.
Canadian.
That's money. Give us that money, guy.
Guy? Yeah,
All right.
definitely South Park.
We're just like talking the whole time like this.
Is
Not
it-
even playing the songs. Like,
I was referencing if we were on stage.
hurry the fuck up.
We're going to get them. We're on the stage, not you.
Not you.
If we want to worship the Lord in this house, we will. The Lord waits for no man.
Oh, you want us to play something?
The Lord waits.
And I'm just messing around.
around.
Lord waits for no man. Praise him.
Oh, you better be giving about 3
I love this part.
for the Lord.
Hold on.
You don't want the Lord to be starving tonight. 350.
Not that part. It's funny though.
The Lord needs your money. And so do we.
I think it's this part.
And yes, we do too. Damn it, woman.
Yeah.
Don't be telling them that 350.
Here it is. You know, forever.
Oh, woman, you know for every 350 we get, I keep 350.
It's like what?
Oh, Lord.
You know, for every 350 we
Now
get,
leave the Lord out of this.
I keep 350.
I gotta get my hand out of the oven.
Fuck, that's a hard like.
Oh, Lord.
Like rasping.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, so this was like, we started to do this
Alright.
on a more developed,
Hold on, let me get some water.
Yeah.
like, we started to do this a lot more often. It just became more and more developed over time. Well, I talk about 350. I don't know why I kept this part in the track. Try to say try to walk away and I stumble. But yeah, this again, the tree fitty. That tree fitty is such an iconic, memorable South Park thing. Like just the don't be talking about that tree fitty. I love that. That was a huge reference, the tree fitty and the Loch Ness Monster with us. And this, I was going through all of our old recordings and jams, and I just like happened to stumble across this, and I was just like, oh my God. I wish we would have done more with it, like that day. Excuse me. It was a little bit longer, but I cut it down because some of it afterwards was like really dumb. But this, I remember hearing it and I was just like, oh my god, like that's so awesome. This is the FIDDY Jam.
Check. Tree FIDDY. Tree FIDDY. Tree FIDDY.
Don't make you that long and monster.
Tree.
No tree FIDDY.
Tree FIDDY. Tree FIDDY. God damn it, woman. Tree FIDDY. Help me get it. Tree FIDDY. Hello, children. Tree FIDDY. Oh, God damn it, woman.
Shitty wall. Shitty wall.
So that's me. Just adding random.
Mr. Hat.
So yeah. This next one is I titled it just drums versus bongo match because I forget why we were doing it. I don't know if we were for some reason we had the bongos out. I have them somewhere. Right here, actually, right now. So for some reason I had them out, and we Kerry was on the drums, obviously. Kerry was on the drums, and I don't know where it came from, but we just decided to, have a match, I guess. So this was how that one turned out. He won, obviously. So I was trying to keep up with him. That's him. I think I was just waiting. That's when he wins. And I tried, but yeah, you can't. So I added that because that was pretty funny. We one of the things that we did always talk about was like, because we both played drums. He was a better drummer than me, but I'm pretty good at drums, and because I remember he even like commented on how I got a lot better. So that was to come from Kerry was a lot. But yeah, and we talked about like doing drum solos live at shows. I mean, we talked about all kinds of things like that we could do at some point, like with a show. So when I found that, I wanted to put it in there because that was something we talked about. And now this next one is called Hill of the King, and this is just instrumental. We do have a couple versions where we like improvised over it, where like we had this recording, right, and then we like literally sat over there by the computer with like 2 headphones on, and we had a mic between us, and we would just kind of like take turns like improvising crap. And then there was one that we did live, which because we didn't have the good mic setup yet, like it kind of went to waste. But I was trying to do an Australian accent, and I was making up this whole story about from Australia. I was talking about orangutans and gorillas and all these like Australian things. And but I can't really use it because you can't hear it very well. But it was really funny, and we ended up just keeping this instrumental because we couldn't really think of any good lyrics, like other than just joke around lyrics. So it's just instrumental. The idea of this song, though, when we were making it, it's supposed to be like Hill of the King. We didn't want to call it King of the Hill because, you know, the show King of the Hill. And so we called it Hill of the King. And it was supposed to be about this battle where, like, it starts off where it's like the troops, it's kind of like happy. And then it just sort of like, it keeps developing over time where it gets a little bit more serious and a little more serious. And then there's kind of like a build up. And I think Kerry's doing like a doom, 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 doom. And it's sort of like a tenth chord, like a diminished or something. And it's supposed to kind of represent like the heartbeats, like before they like go off into battle. And, you know, fighting. And then there's like the victory at the end and all that stuff. And so we did that. And like typically, and obviously I didn't include it, but at the very end of the song, we would always do the King of the Hill theme song. Like at the very end, we would always just do the King of the Hill song. But every recording that I have of us doing it, like we just sounded terrible. So I was going to keep it, but then I was like, man, we just don't sound good. So I took it out. But this is about like a battle, the Hill of the King. There's a victor, you know, like they're basically fighting for, you know, the king is just overstayed his welcome. He needs to be overthrown because the people are tired of being treated, whatever. And so this is like a battle to kind of like take back with the people and stuff like that. So it's called Hill of the King. And this song I remember went through a lot of changes even just to get through this as well. We had a lot of jams of this song. And it's a really cool song on the drums for Kerry too. But this song went through a lot of jams just to get here. And it's not the best recording, but the one mic. This is one of our shorter songs, like 3.5 minutes. The heartbeat part. I guess when they're like fighting. And then I think the next part, it's like slowed down where things are getting like, I guess like death and stuff. And then it kind of builds back up. And then I think the next part, it's like maybe it's like the second wind, I think. It's sped back up. Got some wah pedal. Now it's like the victory. It's like the end. Yeah, that's definitely the victory part right here. So there's that little distortion sound. And like I basically took the distortion and I like just lowered the volume because like literally right after that it would have been like dump 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 dump, but it just sounded like crap. We would talk about how I think there was a recording where we were like at the end of that I think we were both like, man, like that sucked. Like I've never played it that bad in my life before. The King of the Hill part. Yeah. All right. So this next one is called Lil Cosby Sweater Pills. And this actually is a lot longer than what I put on the album because we kind of make jokes about the Bill Cosby thing with the, I guess the Klonopins or whatever Kerry was talking about. So it goes a little bit farther, like the jokes, but I ended it before it kind of gets to that part. But when we first started this, like we were talking about, like the real Neverland song, like where I was playing the electric guitar. I put it right before the acoustic Neverland version, just because I felt like it kind of fit, at least just to be kind of funny, just to talk about something. And we were sort of doing our ASMR voice. We were talking really, really slow. I like what you're saying, Karis. Like, we were talking like that, but it's in a we were using the one mic system, and it wasn't that great back then. So, but that's just sort of what this is about. Like we were just sort of goofing around, and then we talked. I think all it took for me to say was, "Are you guys sleepy yet?" And then it went from that to, because I think the Cosby thing like happened. That's why we talked about it, because I think that's it. It was like fresh in the news or something like that, again, happening. But yeah, so this is Lil Cosby Sweater Pills.
I just want to get this on the recording. So this next song is called Neverland, and it's quite special to us. I like what you're saying, Kerry. This next song is going to be a little different, stripped down, but we actually kind of think it's better. Who likes solos anyways? So grab a cocktail, put on your Sunday best, join us for this magical journey through time, through history, through the future, really. It's a place where future and past are one. There are days, but they're not really days. And reality and imagination are the same. You guys sleepy yet?
That's where it came from.
Are those Klonopins kicking in yet? Did everyone get their Cosby sweater at the door?
Cosby sweater, yeah.
Just slipping through a nice state of seduction. We'd like to thank our sponsor today, Bill Cosby Little Sweater Pills. They taste like pudding.
All right, so this next track is the Neverland Acoustic Jam. And for this track, this was an early-ish kind of version of Neverland. It doesn't. We weren't finished with all of the lyrics. So like, once you get to like the bridge part, you'll actually hear it, because I stopped kind of singing the lyrics, and some of the lyrics are different than where they ended up. And this was like early on as well, because I remember. I don't know. I think we started the song as an acoustic song, because we talked about doing like the little interlude, which you'll hear, and like Kerry's playing the harmonica, and he brought over his electronic drum kit, and that's where you hear like the bells or whatever they're called, the wind chimes. Like, so there's like things that he brought over, like his rain stick. So I think that it started off acoustic, but I think Kerry thought it was like too slow. So we switched from doing it acoustically to doing it on the electric guitar with like the drums. Because he was using the bongos and everything. And I think that's how it went down. Because like I remember like we didn't have all the lyrics finished yet. And we still had like things to work out. And we went from this version, which I remember finding this and I was like, damn, like that actually wasn't too bad. I mean, like I stayed in key pretty well. Kerry, he was still figuring out the harmonies, so you can hear him a couple times like try, but he didn't know all the lyrics yet either. So yeah, I like this version. It is a little slow. It's acoustic. You know, it's a chill song. The interlude is interesting, but I definitely like how kind of like raw it is. I mean, it's literally just like one of the best examples of like if you would just put the two of us like together, like with a mic and acoustic instruments, like it just sounded really good. You know, we mess up obviously a little bit here and there, but it turned out pretty well for just what it was, and it was just like us jamming and trying to see where the song went, and it turned out to be this. And yeah, I mean, it could have been better, but I think, like I said, we went from this to electric and drums, so we didn't really do many more, if any, of acoustic versions. But I do like this one. I wanted to add it because I like Neverland, and so here we go. This is a little. We called it the interlude. I forget what it was the interlude for. What was it for? And it's just. We're just messing around for like a couple minutes. That's really what it is. I think it was supposed to be like going to sleep or like. It was an interlude. I forget what it was for. It's raining. I'm just playing different chords because I can. And I had an idea of what I was doing with the chords, but essentially I was just going wherever. About to get bluegrass. And he's just chilling with that rhythm already. You can hear it. Do a dominant, I think. Oh no. It's funny.
I stare out of my window, think back on things
It's a little more chill. You can hear the garage door in the track.
It was so sad to see them go. Pirates now in search of gold. Once my kin, the lost boys are no more. And now that we're all grown up, maybe with just a tad of fairy dust, they can remember how to fly. We can have fun just like good old times. Yeah, don't ever forget the way to Neverland. Dreams come, dreams may go. Follow the heart, it will show you all you need
good. I like this
to
song. Keep saying
get to Neverland is a happy
good. A little slow, but it's good. I didn't know the lyrics yet. I didn't have them memorized. They slice the waves on the ocean shores, giving birth to the skies up high. The moon showed us where, and the lightning showed us how to be proud and free, to be brave and proud. So it's the bridge. See, I didn't know all the words. Don't ever close it tight. You gotta leave it open, because if it remains closed. See, the lyrics change. But if you keep your window open wide and leave on the light that's inside, then I will know where to find you. Then we can always be friends, and we will always be young. And don't ever forget, wait to never let dreams come, dreams may go. Follow the heart, it will show you all you need to do. To get to Neverland is a happy thought. Very nice faith tries. Now we're on our way to Neverland. This is us. We were doing it. I messed up a little bit. We were supposed to go like up and down. Just go down and then up. So one goes down and one goes up. See, I repeated that because I didn't have it finished. How to fly, how to fly. Yeah, this is I kept some of these things. It's a little different. That part, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I'm messing up. Kerry had it right. Yeah, I had the higher hum. I had that part. Kept that part. I like that. I like how we ended it.
Yes.
That was it. Yes.
The motherland.
Motherland Russia.
Well, that was cool.
So that was those voices at the end were like yes, like that was probably around the time where we did the Russia with Love improv thing. For us to reference that, like, because we didn't reference that. Well, we did every once in a while, but that was probably around that time where we did that. Russia. It's the motherland. Like, it was like this whole stupid thing we did. This next one, I was going through tracks and I found it, and it's really short. And I just thought it was really funny. It's called Hi Ho. And it's when we had the bad microphone, but I just thought it was hilarious. And it's one of those recordings where you just do it and you forget. It was just us messing around. So this is Hi Ho.
Hi ho.
Hi Ho.
Hi ho, hi ho.
It's off to work you go.
Saying like a hose going off to work.
Hi Ho,
Hi ho, make me money, ho.
It's off
To work you go. You make me money, you don't get none.
hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
That would have been.
We got fun with that one, man. Yeah.
It's true. Like we could have done something funny with that, but we never did. Like that's the thing. Like we had so many, just like things like that. Where we just never finished things. But yeah. So this next one is called Jellyfish, and this is another instrumental. And I don't know why we called it Jellyfish, why I called it Jellyfish, but basically this track turned into a comedy track where we played in the background. We did that whole microphone and like we improvised. We were both next to the microphone. And this song turned into a comedy song called The Adventures of Seaweed and Jelly. And I was the jellyfish and Kerry was the seahorse. And I'm going to release it later at a certain point. But this is just instrumental. I don't know how long it took to get to this point, but I feel like this was a fairly quick jam. Like for us to kind of just figure out this stuff, like we kind of just like, this was a quick one. And it's not a long song. It's like 3.5 minutes or so. But this is Jellyfish, and it's just instrumental. So here we go. And that was Kerry at the beginning. He almost laughs. Listen. Like right there. We kind of did a lot of heavy stuff. And I never was really... I like doing the heavy stuff, but we went there a lot. But I've always been like a pop, soft rock kind of guy. So we kind of got to a decent middle ground. Especially with the comedy stuff. I liked playing that because I felt so cool. Like really fast. I mean, I like that riff. Like. It's a good riff. It came from a jam. Pretty much everything. We just, a lot of the times we just like jam, like something, keep it, work on it. Kerry always liked double bass pedal, so I thought it was cool to we like did one with it. Now this is the part where it gets serious. But it was hard because to just be like a guitar player without bass, like I had to try to fill it up as much as I could. So I was like learning different techniques, like harmonies like that. Just 2 notes, I think. And he's got a double bass. This was probably the heaviest song that we did. Paper Tigers is heavy, but I think this was heavier. Yeah. So, this next song, this was a completely improvised song. This song was actually recorded in 2019 in February. It was just the 2 of us. It was like a jam that we did, and a lot of the songs that are on this album are like, pretty much all of them are like early 2015, 16, like maybe 2017. But I put 2 songs on here that are from like 2008. They're a little bit later, and they were just completely improvised songs. This one I put on here because it's an instrumental. And it was one of those times where it just sounded really, really good. Like there wasn't very many mess ups, like if at all. It was all improvised, and it was just the 2 of us like vibing, like going off of each other. And in this song, I'm actually playing the keyboard because there was a point, like at the beginning, I would mostly play the guitar. And then there was a point where I would just kind of mainly play the keyboard. And this was one of the songs where I was on the keyboard because I was practicing a lot more and I'd gotten better at doing certain things. And this was all improvised. I called it Sneaky Snek because it reminded me of that video with that guy where he's like, "Oh, you're a sneaky snake. You sneaky snake." Like that guy. I don't know if you guys know that video. And then Mousetrap, because I just felt, I don't know where that came from. Sneaky Snake, Mousetrap. It just kind of felt like that was what it should be called. So I put this on here. It's just improvised. And I really liked it. I felt like it kind of fit. I'm only going to put it on the deluxe version, though. On the regular Ben and Kerry album, it's only going to be like 12 songs. And I'm not going to put this one or Pump on there, because that one's also improvised. But here is Sneaky Snake. I'm going to do a music video for this. But yeah, all improvised, Sneaky Snake. Yeah, just us messing around. I like this though. I feel like you could run or maybe just work out with this possibly. Maybe run. My left hand's constantly boom. I like that bass. I don't know what I used. Because my bass sounds aren't that great on this keyboard. Yeah, I like this too. There was a point where we did a lot of what was it called? Give and take or call and answer. But yeah, so we did that. That's cool. I think that's why I like things. It's just like the two, we're just kind of going back. And I'm just still with that bass. The two of us. His kick drum in my left hand. That's cool. Now it changes. Some walking bass. It's just a minor scale, I think. It's probably just like F and C minor or something. Yeah, I like this to be a good running song. Just kind of has like a nice rhythm. Steady, pretty steady. Try that walking bass again. Little rim shots. Oh yeah, this is about to be the end. I don't know what to do anymore, I think. But yeah, it's funny how we so like at the beginning when we used to jam, like we used to jam for like it could have been like 30 to 40 minutes, maybe not 40 minutes. Well, we had some pretty long jams like at the beginning. And it's interesting how, like, towards the beginning, our jams were just, like, really long. But the more and more we played together, like, even improvising, like, the shorter and sweeter they would be. Like, it kind of just, like, became a thing where we just started to get so good that what used to be, like, a 15-minute, 20-minute song jam of us just, like, trying to make each other laugh, etc., it started to turn into, like, 4-minute jams of a song, like where we would have a repeating chorus, or like a 6-minute, or even a 10-minute, or 8. Like, you know, like they all kind of became like a lot shorter, and just we just started to get really, really good at making stuff up and just jamming and like just doing things like that. Because we had been playing together like here and there since like high school. But yeah, this next one I added on the deluxe version because, to me, even though this is like this is another song. It's all improvised. Like all right, let me go into that. So when we first did this song, it was just Kerry playing the drums, right? So Kerry's playing the drums, and I'm just improvising about working out. Like this song is about working out, and so in the original version, it's just Kerry on drums and then me on the vocals. There's no other music or anything like that. So one day, like I was like, you know, I want to add music to this. Like I feel like it could be a funny video, or like it's funny. So I added all of the other stuff to this. So the original improv was just Kerry drums, me singing. And it's all made up. Like, all of this is made up. The only stuff that I went back and that's not really... I mean, it's all created, but it's not improvised. Like, all of the synthesizers and all the bass, like, all of that stuff, like, I wrote. But originally, this song, it's all improvised. Like, lyrics are all made up. That's why, like, you can hear me laughing a little bit at certain parts. But Kerry is doing an awesome job at just keeping that dance beat and changing it, and, like... And this happened like later on as well. Like this is one of those examples of where this is like a 5.5 minute song. This is an example of where we kind of like were able to start cutting off like when we felt like a song would be done, instead of just like keep going for like another 10 minutes, which we could have. But we like I said, this is an example of how we kind of got better at shortening things. But so this is Pump Pecs. Pecs is for pumping and sex or something like that. So this, I'm only going to keep this on the deluxe edition because it is improvised. It's kind of funny. On the regular Ben and Kerry album, I'm going to just keep more of the serious stuff. So, but this is Pump. Here we go. So I added that, boom, boom, all that. But Kerry, like everything I made up with that, like I'm following Kerry. Like he did that on his own. Like him hitting those knocks, like he did that on his own. I just followed him on the other stuff.
Yeah.
See? That's all him.
Yeah.
It's like he could hear it, and I just made it on the music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to be like an Arnold Schwarzenegger guy. Yeah.
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 That's what I was trying to do.
Fist in the eye.
And I was kind of making fun of Jersey Shore a little bit.
Just fist in the eye. Now pump it. Pump your fist. Do it. Do it like this. Pump your fist. Pump.
Could be a funny video.
It up. Pump it
Up.
Pump it up. Pump it. Look.
This is the chorus.
Now pump.
And
Now
then
flex.
And then pump.
Pump. And then look. Now flex. Now pump. And jump. Then rump. Then jump.
And then
Just
rump.
pump. Oh. We're gonna pump jump.
See, I just made that up.
Pump jump. Like you just don't care. Pump jump.
How
Put
can
your
you
hands in
even
the
pump
air.
jump?
Flex them without no care. Pump jump. Pump it. Just pump it.
See, I laugh.
Pump it. and then flex.
It's funny because Kerry was
Now
just
look at the camera.
he's just letting me
Look
go.
good. Flex good.
He was just going with me, man.
You can do it. Keep flexing. I'm gonna take a picture. Here we go.
You have to think about it.
Say cheese.
When we did this,
Now pump.
there was no music.
Pump.
It's just
Pump,
drums
pump.
and me, Kerry and me.
Pump it up.
Only
Pump,
drums.
Pump it up. Just pump it. Pump it. Fist in the air.
He was
Like you just don't care.
He was
Pump
here
it.
playing drums.
Pump it. Now pump jump.
I was
pump
standing
jump.
right there.
Jump and flex and jump and flex and jump and flex. How high can you get? Jump and flex and jump and flex and jump and flex.
What?
How high can you get? Pump it. Now jump and flex and jump and flex. How high can you get? Jump and flex it. Jump and
Just how
flex
good
it.
he
How
was.
high can you get? Pump it.
See, look at that.
Pump.
Right back into his beat.
Pump.
He didn't need. He just went with it, man.
Pump it everywhere you go. Pump it like you just should know. Pump it like your mother.
Like we just made a song
Pump it
from
like
drums
your
and
daddy
vocals.
too. Pump it like everyone you know. Pump it up and there's no gum. Pump it, just pump it. Did I say pump it?
Pump it.
Pump. Then jump.
I like that little
Then
bit.
flex. Pump. Then jump. Then flex. And then pump.
And then pump.
Pump it. Just pump it. Pump it.
I remember like telling him, I was like,
Just pump it. Pump
could
it,
be a good
pump it.
song.
Now flex and flex and flex, flex, flex. Look at what you're doing now. For
someone to work out with.
Flexing while you sexing, that's how you do it.
There it is.
Exercexing. Pump and
extra
sex.
sex. Pump and sex.
It's pecs.
Pecs.
Every,
There it is.
just pump. Pump, 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 pump. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many pumps does it take to get to where you trying to get to? How big you trying to get? How big you trying to get your arms? You trying to make them real big? Well, why else are you pumping for?
Pump. This is all made
Just
up.
pump.
It's so dumb.
Now flex. Now look at your chest.
It's dumb, but it's good.
Just pump
Like,
it. Pump, 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 pump. Pump it up. Now pump it up, then dump.
dump out all those carbs you got. Dump out all those carbs you got.
Dump out all those carbs you got. You ain't trying to keep carbs. So dump.
Dump out them carbs.
Dump it like you
Don't even carb.
Trying
to rhyme. Care and
Just
Carb.
dump it. Dump them carbs. I don't know why people fuck with carbs. I don't know why people fuck with carbs when they looking at never know far.
Yeah.
If you're trying to pump it real good, don't eat carbs.
They're no good.
Just gotta keep pumping. You gotta eat
They are-
stuff
they're
like
not bad.
protein.
Protein powder.
Mix it in the water.
Protein powder.
Put it in a cup.
Protein powder.
Drink it all up.
Oh,
Drink it all up, then pump. Pump. Just pump. Now flex.
Like how
Yeah,
funny
pump.
that needs. I need to make a video for that. Just
Pump.
like
Then jump. Now flex.
you know, like that'd be. I need to
Now
make a
pump.
video. That'd be hilarious.
Pump.
Just wear like a dumb outfit.
Pump. Pump.
I like the ending though.
Pump.
you
Pump
know?
it up. Pump.
Dun, 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 dun.
Pump. Pump.
Dun, 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 dun,
Just pump.
dun, dun, dun.
Just pump it up.
Yeah, see that for being improvised, like I think that's why I liked that song. I think that's I wanted to put it on there because I wanted people to hear it because I thought it was like just really good, just for being improvised, you know. So yeah, we are almost done. We got like 3 left. So this next one, it was okay. So I want to get into this. All of these are going to lead up into Epic Chapman. Okay, so the reason why Kerry is saying like the long, arduous adventures of Mr. Chapman is because Epic Chapman is like when we wrote it, it was like 4 songs, but now that I'm looking at it, it's really like 10 songs. It's like 10 little minute to minute and a half songs, you know, like all into one big 15-minute track. And so that's why he's talking like the long, arduous adventure. And so this was again us pretending we were live talking to an audience. So here's the adventures of Epic Chapman. The long, arduous.
Hope everyone make sure you take a bathroom break before this next one.
Yeah.
We'll wait. This next one's pretty long. In fact, it's pretty epic. It's a 4-part song about a guy we made up named
It's
Mr.
still
Chapman.
kind of
Sing
4
about him in
parts.
Paleo.
Yeah, we.
Yeah.
Way to contribute. I know that got the crowd pumped up. Alright, this next one's called Epic Chapman. The long, arduous, adventurous journey of Mr. Chapman.
We would
the
just keep
third,
going and
Benjamin
doing
Kerry
things like
the
that.
third, Benjamin.
Benjamin Jr.
Third.
Twice removed.
The third plus a fifth.
Equals 2/4 of a penny.
So this is a 4 count because this is another example of the reason why we laughed so much is because we were just kind of like, okay, like, I guess we're just going to do it. Like, we don't know how to do it. Because that was the thing with Epic Chapman. Like, this song started off as one of those long, like, it was like 30-minute jams, like 20-minute. Like, it took us, I have 4, because it was such a long song, we were always hesitant to do it because it was so long. It was like 4 songs into one. And we always were like, okay, like if we're going to do it, like we're going to do it once. I don't think we did it more than once in a day. But it started off as like a 20-something minute, and it kept going down once we got better at it. And this is the best one I could find. But first, let me get to this 4 count. The 4 count was just us laughing because we were like, oh, like, okay, like, I guess we'll just do it. Like, I don't know. So I called it 4 count because,
So I'm just going to give us a 4 count. We're just going to start it.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't know.
All right.
We were like,
Okay. Okay.
and I was testing my piano, to make sure everything was set up because I switched from the guitar to the piano in the song. But yeah, so it started off as like a long song, and then it kept getting shorter and shorter. This one is 15 and a half minutes, like 15. But there were some where they were like 30 minutes, 20-something minutes. And I'm going to go real quick into the parts of the song. So when we first did it, it was 4 parts, right? And it was Epic Chapman because we were going to include Mr. Chapman in there. And the way that this whole thing even started was like we were playing Mr. Chapman one day, and all of us, Mr. Chapman is in like A major. And all of a sudden, at the very end of it, I go to an A minor. So I go from major to minor. And then we just do this whole, like, jam, and we're just like, Mr. Chapman. Like, I start singing it, and it's about how he's all sad. So we started calling it Sad Chapman. So once we were like Mr. Chapman and Sad Chapman, which, like, takes place right after the girl leaves him and all that stuff, where he's sad about it, we were like, well, like, what if we have it, like, he's a baby? And then he like grows up, and then he like die. So it became this whole circle of life thing, where he's like he starts as a baby, and becomes an adult and dies, and it was just like this whole life cycle. And so it started as Baby Chapman, Mr. Chapman, Sad Chapman, and then Wise Chapman. So we were originally having it be 4 songs. I kind of broke it down a little bit more, where there's actually like 10 parts. So the way that I would describe it now is that there was the Baby Chapman, number 2 would be the teen, like the teen Chapman, and then Mr., and then Sad, and then after the Sad it was Drunk, because he was, drunk, and then there was the Crash, which you'll hear, and then there was Growth, and then he was Wise, and then it's the eulogy where he dies, and then it's the goodbyes. So there's 10. And I remember, like, with this song, I know I'm going to talk about it for like a second, and it's the longest song on here. It's 15 minutes. It's almost 16 minutes. So this is the best jam that we had because this song was so long. Kerry and I never sat down and like got like a professional kind of recording like how we did with Mr. Chapman and Paper Tigers and those. we were very hesitant to, because it was so long. We were just like, man, how are we going to do this? Like, I don't know. We just got to either do it all and not mess up, or we got to do it in parts. So this was the best version that we had, because like I didn't have a version where like I sang on it. Like in this version, we were using the 2-mic system. So I was singing like directly into a mic, and I actually muted that, and I redid the vocals. So the vocals, I'd never done the vocals before. The vocals sound a lot cleaner than what they did when we did it live. So I went in for this song and I redid all the vocals. I added vocals, I added lyrics, I like wrote extra stuff because it wasn't finished. We never finished it. So all of this from Epic Chapman it's all from that jam. It's all from the ideas we had, but I had to go and finish it. And it was crazy because after Kerry, died, I kind of felt like this song became more about Kerry instead of Mr. Chapman. And there's like a eulogy part like that I wrote at the end, and it's kind of more about Kerry in a way. So when I was finishing this song, like it did kind of become weird. It became very emotional, like trying to finish this song. And I figured it was for our album, like I figured this is what we need to end with. Because I just thought like it would pull everything together, even though it's the longest song. It just, if you can make it to the end, like it has the best, the most meaning, I guess. And so it kind of developed. And if you're willing to listen to this full song, because I will admit, like a 15-minute song is a long song. But I honestly feel like anyone who has listened to the whole song, they'll know what I'm talking about, like how it really is a journey. It really is epic. It's like this whole story. There's a lot of changes. It's the best that I could do with what I had left. And with that being said, let's go ahead and take this journey into Epic Chapman. Supposed to be the baby being born. The pain.
Open your eyes and see the world for the first time.
So now that the baby's born, this is the teen section. Where he's growing up. This is all teen. I like this part though. And we took out the original intro for Mr. Chapman, and that was Kerry's idea. He wanted to just go right into it, so he did a drum fill, and we went right into Mr. Chapman instead of having the long intro. But this is Mr. And I kind of changed the vocals a little bit.
I see the perfect 10 years you ever saw. He fell in love and nothing broke his heart. Around on the ride he goes. He's gaining speed, but he's losing control. He's getting in over his head, and the more he spends, the more she says I love you. But be careful, Mr. Chapman, listen to what we tell you.
This is a little different.
Watch out for that gold digging.
And I changed the second part of the chorus. Made it like lower.
You better watch out. Look out for that gold digging lady. You better watch
your wallet and watch your heart. I meant more
Don't let her
talking.
fool you.
Play it smart.
Beware of that gold-digging lady.
No solo though. Well, that could be a solo.
He got caught up in her web. She took his car and then she fled. She left him right for riches. He didn't listen, Mr. Chapman. Now look at what you're going through. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You better watch out for that gold-digging lady. You better watch out. Look out for her.
I always like that part.
gold
It's
fingers
like-
on. Yeah, watch out for that gold-digging lady.
I had to redo these vocals.
You didn't watch your wallet or watch your heart. You let her fool, you didn't play it smart. Beware of them gold-digging ladies. Hey, hey, yeah. Hey, yeah.
I messed up on the guitar. So here's the major. And there's the minor. This is sad. Sad Chapman. I had to write lyrics for this because we never had any finished. Well, the first part of the lyrics. The second verse was pretty good from improvising. So I kept those.
Mr. Chapman,
And you'll be able to hear my
what are
original.
you gonna do?
You'll hear my original vocals sometimes in the background. Hold on.
Mr. Chapman, I know you're blue.
Right now. You hear it? That was what I originally sang.
Mr. Chapman,
Hear it?
life isn't fair.
Oh.
Shit happens,
I was gonna say
but not
ish.
more than you can bear.
I was gonna say ish happens, but I was like,
Life's a lesson
let's say shit.
with every single day. Yeah. We told you to watch out, but you didn't listen.
So the first verse was like Kerry and I, like talking to Mr. Chapman. This next verse is like, it switches perspectives, and it's coming from Mr. Chapman. Like, I'm now Mr. Chapman when I sing the next verse. And it's still sad, Chapman.
Here I am now. My heart's so cold. They told me to watch out, but I just didn't know.
So I started saying I and stuff.
I didn't want to listen to what they said. I guess it's easier to see what's happening from the outside. Looking in.
And a lot of this was improvised.
Oh, how could I let her? How could I let her treat me so bad? Will I ever let myself get back up again? Oh, the pain, it hurts so much.
It's a long verse.
What can I do? What can I do? What can I do to make this stop? I just want this pain to go away. This pain to go away. Yeah. they told me to watch out, but I didn't listen.
Now this is gonna be coming to the drunk part where I switched to the piano. We were talking about having him be sad and he starts spiraling out of control and he's like drunk driving. So this whole part coming up supposed to be like drunk and angry kind of time. Drunk and angry. This is probably one of my favorite little grooves that we did right here coming up right now. Just doing that. Drunk, angry, driving. Intense. Coming up to the crash. Getting intense. That's the crash. This part is where he's growing. He's like kind of coming back. He survived, and now he's growing and learning. Wise. Like this part would be wise, where he's kind of like. And then the eulogy is coming up.
Close your eyes. Rest in peace. You lived a good life. You leave behind a legacy that will go on forever. You were kind to others, even in the darkest of hours. You were wise in your life.
That's Kerry in the background.
And you gave us something so much more than you could know. You were a friend, a brother, and a sister, a lover, and a giver. The world won't be as bright, but you left your light in others. So now it's up to us to continue to shine on. You will live on in our hearts and our minds forever. We will always remember you.
So the next part's coming up until the end are like the goodbyes, solos and stuff. We had some other good versions, but here's the goodbyes. We were originally gonna sing this at the end of our shows. The lyrics were like, so long, take care, we will see you again. Goodbye, farewell, till we meet again. So we were originally gonna sing this to the audience, kind of saying like, bye guys, like we'll see you at the next show. That was how we were going to start ending our concert, with this song. And then it kind of became something else, I think. And I mess up a little bit. Kerry kept that groove. This is awesome what Kerry does coming up. I love this drum fill. He likes, here it is. Dun, damn. I need to buy it again. I was debating on if I should add a guitar solo, but I don't know. Probably not. And then this part coming up. When we originally did this, we started singing No Woman, No Cry. You can kind of hear us in the background. I kept this part. Just for the significance of it. And I remember when we used to play. I remember. I remember. Farewell until we meet again. I remember. Take care. We will see you again. So yeah. So that song at the end, like I said before, like it kind of changed. Because before, like, we were gonna end our shows with that song, and then when Kerry passed, it kind of became kind of about him, or her, so yeah, it was kind of hard to finish that song, but I really still think it's a great song, and it's always gonna be one of those where it's such a journey. Like I keep saying that it's such an epic song. That's why we called it that. And but yeah, I don't know how long this video is right now. I don't know who stuck around, if anyone sat through the whole thing. I feel like some people, you should probably, if you're gonna take this music video, this video on, you're gonna have to like do it in different parts. Like maybe watch the first 15 minutes one day and then just come back, because it is a long album. I'm doing this video for the deluxe edition because I wasn't able to release this online other than Bandcamp, because they said that there was too many tracks that were like not good quality or something like that. Instead of just like taking my money and like putting them out there, they were like, "Meh," and I was like, "Meh," and then they were like, "Meh," and I was like, "Meh." And then so I was like, I'm gonna do this video. This is how I intended the album to be, even though it is really long. I always wanted to call it the deluxe edition to separate it, because the original version of the album is just going to be the songs. It's not going to have any of the extra stuff. So that version should be released on iTunes and everything soon. But this version, you can only get it or hear it on YouTube and Bandcamp. On Bandcamp, you can download them both for free. It just on Bandcamp though, the albums don't have changes or day and night because of copyright stuff. But you can listen to the whole album here on YouTube. You can download them on Bandcamp for free, or on iTunes. You can add them to your playlist once that gets released. As you can also see, I have a Ben and Kerry poster and a Ben and Kerry shirt. If anybody is interested in buying any, just let me know. I haven't really set that up because I wanted to make some for myself, but I didn't know if anyone might want some. But if that becomes a thing, then maybe I'll sell them. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. It's going to be a long video. And yeah, take care. So long. Farewell till we meet again. You know. Yeah.